The 1985 half-dollar coin from the United States of America is a fascinating piece of modern American coinage that carries both historical importance and patriotic symbolism. Known officially as the Kennedy half-dollar, this coin honors one of the most beloved presidents in U.S. history, John F. Kennedy. The story of the Kennedy half-dollar begins in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. To commemorate his memory, the U.S. Mint quickly decided to feature his portrait on the half-dollar coin. The design was created by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, two of the Mint's most respected engravers. Roberts designed the obverse side, showing the profile of President Kennedy, while Gasparo designed the reverse, which depicts the presidential seal, featuring an eagle with a shield, clutching arrows, and an olive branch, symbols of defense and peace. By 1985, more than 2 decades had passed since the first Kennedy half-dollar was minted. However, the coin continued to be produced every year, maintaining its status as a powerful tribute to a president who inspired millions. The 1985 half-dollar was minted at 2 main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver can be identified by the small letter D just below Kennedy's neck. Interestingly, no proof versions were produced at the San Francisco Mint in 1985, which makes this year unique compared to many others. The coin is composed of copper and nickel, forming what is known as a clad composition. Earlier versions of the Kennedy half-dollar, such as the 1964 issue, contained 90% silver, but that changed starting in 1971 when the U.S. Mint stopped using silver for circulating coins. The 1985 version, therefore, is a more modern and durable coin made for daily use rather than precious metal content. In terms of design, the obverse of the coin features the left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, surrounded by the words, "Liberty," and, "In God We Trust." Beneath his neck is the date, 1985, marking the year of minting. The reverse side proudly displays the presidential coat of arms, surrounded by 50 stars representing each U.S. state, along with the inscriptions, United States of America, and half-dollar. Although the 1985 half-dollar was still legal tender and actively minted, it was rarely seen in everyday circulation. By the mid-1980s, most Americans preferred smaller denominations for daily transactions, and the half-dollar had become more of a collector's coin than a coin used in stores. Many 1985 half-dollars went straight from the mint into collector's sets or bank storage. As for its value, the 1985 half-dollar generally holds modest worth in circulated condition, around its face value of 50 cents. However, uncirculated or high-grade coins can be worth a few dollars to collectors, especially those with sharp details and no signs of wear. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services can command higher prices due to their pristine condition and historical significance. The Kennedy half-dollar remains one of America's most iconic coins, a symbol of hope, leadership, and unity. For collectors and history lovers, the 1985 edition represents a continuation of that legacy, connecting modern America to one of its most inspiring leaders. Even though it may not be made of silver or gold, its true value lies in the memory it preserves and the story it tells, a story of national pride and remembrance. Next coin. In 1979, the United States introduced a brand new coin that made history, the Susan B. Anthony $1 coin. This small, silvery coin carried a story of progress, change, and controversy. Today, we'll explore the history behind this fascinating coin, why it was created, and what makes it special to collectors and history lovers. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was first minted in 1979, becoming the first U.S. coin to feature a real woman rather than a symbolic female figure like Liberty. It honored Susan B. Anthony, a courageous social reformer and a key leader in the American women's suffrage movement. Anthony dedicated her life to fighting for women's right to vote, and nearly 75 years after her death, her face was finally placed on the nation's currency, a true tribute to her impact on American history. Before 1979, the U.S. $1 coin was the large Eisenhower dollar, which was heavy and inconvenient for daily use. The U.S. Mint decided to create a smaller, lighter version to encourage more people to use dollar coins instead of paper bills. Congress approved the new coin in 1978, and the design process began soon after. The coin's obverse, or front side, was designed by Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. It features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony facing right, with 13 stars representing the original colony surrounding her image. Above her head are the words, Liberty, and to the right, the national motto, In God We Trust. The date 1979 appears at the bottom. The reverse side of the coin shows a design originally used on the Eisenhower dollar, an eagle landing on the moon, carrying an olive branch, symbolizing peace. Behind the eagle is the Earth, showing North America. The image was inspired by the Apollo 11 space mission insignia, connecting the coin to American achievement and progress. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, similar in color to a quarter. It was about the same size as the quarter too, only slightly larger. That similarity turned out to be a major problem. When the coin was released, people often confused it with the 25-cent piece. Vending machines and cashiers struggled to tell them apart, leading to frustration among the public. Because of this confusion, the coin was not well received. Many Americans simply refused to use it, preferring the traditional paper $1 bill. As a result, production was limited. The Mint struck coins from 1979 to 1981, and then again briefly in 1999, just before the new Sacagawea dollar was introduced. Even though the Susan B. Anthony dollar failed to gain popularity in circulation, it remains an important symbol in U.S. history. It marked a milestone for gender representation on American currency, paving the way for later designs that honored other influential women, such as Sacagawea and Maya Angelou. For coin collectors, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar has several interesting varieties. The most famous is the wide rim or near-date version, where the rim of the coin is thicker and closer to the date. This variety is scarcer and more valuable than the common narrow rim version. Proof versions minted in San Francisco, marked with an S, are also highly sought after. Today, the Susan B. Anthony dollar stands as more than just a piece of metal. It represents the story of a woman who changed America and a nation that attempted to modernize its currency. Though it wasn't a success in everyday transactions, it remains a powerful reminder of the progress toward equality and the ongoing journey of the American dollar.